All right, guys, Panama versus Costa Rica, Costa Rica versus Panama. We're going to compare. We're going to be comparing. Pablo's got experiences in both places. Not a better person to talk to. And we're going to get to Pablo in a second. Guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do. YouTube is so much harder these days. Trust me, for a little solo YouTuber. And if you want to see videos as we put them up, hit the notification bell. I would appreciate it. Guys, we're down at the Relocation Retreat. We're not going to talk about the Relocation Retreat, but we are down here at the Relocation Retreat. And if Costa Rica is on your radar, thinking you might want to live here, but you're not, well, they might change their mind to Panama after this one. But anyway, if you think Costa Rica might be on your radar, but you're not quite sure, I'd love to see you down there. Down here, 6-7 day event, good, the bad, the ugly, about living in Costa Rica. And at the end of the event, I think you'll know if Costa Rica is right for you or it's honey, we're going to Panama.
Yeah.
So all that information and sign up and all the stuff is down below in a link in the description. Guys, you recognize Pablo, right? We've talked to him a few times. He's our import-export guy. He's the guy that brings your house down to Costa Rica, and or Panama, and if you don't like it, he'll ship your stuff back for you. So cars, household items, all that kind of stuff. That's our guy Pablo. Honest, transparent. We love him because he makes a little money, but not at your expense. Everything is fair and upfront.
Thank you.
Pablo,
Thank you.
nice talking to you again. We always get good insights from Pablo, but this time we're going a little south and comparing Costa Rica with Panama.
I think it's important though.
Yes, let's start out with maybe the good points of both countries in your perspective. So what are some of the major positives about Costa Rica first, and then we'll say the major positives about Panama.
I would say both countries are very similar. And I travel and I spent a lot of time in Panama. Last year I spent 2 weeks in Panama, 2 weeks in Costa Rica, and I had an apartment in Clayton, which is
in Panama.
In Clayton, Panama, and I have a house near San Jose. So 2 weeks here, 2 weeks in Panama. So I spent a lot of time, and over years before I have done business in Panama, maybe 7 years now, and I learned that the people who end up moving into Costa Rica is very similar to the people who end up moving into Panama, with maybe somebody fall in love with the Costa Rican, or maybe somebody like the Panamanian cuisine, but it's almost the same type of people who are retiring abroad. They're looking at Costa Rica or Panama, and I think this is why it's important for us to talk about this. Both countries are beautiful. I love them both. Both countries are small. Both countries are similar size of population, 4 to 5 million people. Both countries are also most of the population live in the capital city, San Jose, or Panama City. Most of the people live in the capitals. Both countries are a very good place to connect with nature. Both. Now, Costa Rica has got the name and the reputation as the top place in the world to connect with nature.
You gotta admit, Costa Rica is a good name. It just is.
Rica.
When you say Costa Rica, you're like, man, because most people think we're a tropical island, anyway.
Yeah,
but
Puerto Rico, huh?
Just real quick, Nicaragua, which is north instead of the south, Nicaragua is just as beautiful as Costa Rica. Same, all of it. But come on, Costa Rica, Nicaragua.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
A lot of it has to be with idiosyncrasy. Am I saying that right in English? How do you say that?
Idiosyncrasy.
Idiosyncrasy.
Or C's, if it's plural. Idiosyncrasy.
So Costa Rica make a great job over the years, kind of aligning itself to attract more people. Like no army, invest that money into education. More percentage of Costa Ricans are bilingual. Over 40% plus are bilingual.
Remember when they were pushing that? I think it was a few years ago, but Costa Rica was voted the happiest place.
Oh yeah, that's still happening.
Obviously marketing, but they were doing all that to give that perception. Not that it's not true, but obviously marketing. But anyway, it was voted 1 or 2 happiest places.
So if you look at the kind of like the main resources of places you want to live abroad, you always have to look at International Living Retirement Index. And Panama and Costa Rica are always in the top 5, Costa Rica right now for this year is the number one place for retirement, and Panama is in that top 5 as well, including Mexico. Colombia just got into the list. So these 2 countries are kind of like on the top of the list. They're very similar, but they have a couple of things that are different.
You know, it's funny. It's almost like you kind of were saying they're very similar, but they're different.
Yeah,
you know, they're different because I've heard. I mean, I got friends that live in Panama. The processes are different there. It seems to be more and easier. They're kind of they streamline expats coming in there, make it a little easier for residency, and I don't know. There's a lot of things maybe people don't know, but Panama's got quite a few things, maybe a little bit over Costa Rica in the regard.
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about them. Let's get more specific. So, like Costa Rica, culturally nicest people, which I actually agree with. Obviously the beauty on all these things. It is marketed well. I live in Costa Rica. How cool is that? I live in Costa Rica. Cool. I mean, so those cultural things are the same, but I don't think the people are the same.
No,
really, because I've spent time in Panama as well, and I actually do see a pretty distinct difference in just the people themselves.
So, okay, on that area, one of the down things, one of the negative things for Panama is the customer service is not the same level as Costa Rica. So for Costa Rica, you have how friendly is their people. Our culture is, we're a very touristy country. I mean, I remember when I was a child watching cartoons, be nice to the tourists. It's kind of like within our culture, be nice, and help the tourists. Panama, on the other hand, I mean, you can go into a store, you can go into a place to buy clothing or whatever. You are the customer, and you have to chase the salesperson. You have to talk to like 2 or 3 people before you get an answer.
In the States, we would say, this is how I feel. I like Panama. I think it's a very viable choice for retirees or whoever wants to change their life. But the people are a little indifferent to you. They almost look at you kind of like, we're going to let you be here, but we don't like you that much.
I think a lot of it is perception, I'll say. When they are an employee and they have to do customer service, I think they're not good employees. But after hours, after 6, 7 p.m., you find networking events, meetup events. I'm talking about Panama City, right? Kind of like most people in Costa Rica, they don't move to San Jose or the city. But Panama is got in a small city, it's very active. There is always something.
The movers and the shakers, the go-getters, the entrepreneurs, the people. Yeah.
It's a financial hub also, and it's a hub for connectivity for airlines and logistics. So it's got finance, airlines, and for you to fly. There are flights, direct flights to almost every place in Europe or big cities in the U.S. So this city has got something going on where people network, and it's a very international city. So not just from people from the United States, you met people from Europe, Belgians, French people, Germans, from South Africa, from Asia, from Dubai, from India. It's a small city that is very diverse.
Definitely a hub.
It's a hub. It's a hub. And Costa Rica has a lot less of that. It's more touristy. We have a lot more places that are nice for people to move. A lot more expat towns, I will call it. A lot more than Panama. So it's a different taste. So maybe you like to be closer to an expat town in Costa Rica, have more options, and it's still beautiful. Or maybe you like Panama City, which is a big percentage of the people who move to Panama stay within the city. Now
the two expat towns seem to be David and Boquete. Is it Boquete? Boquete seems to be a pretty hotbed of gringos.
Oh yeah.
And what I've heard, and people that live there, they just make whether it's business or it's just more streamlined for people. I think here, at least with me, I started the travel business, getting legit with my banking and taxes and all that. It's a lot of hoops, man. It's a lot of hoops here to jump through. And I used to think it was maybe, well, he's a gringo. We're gonna see if he really wants it. But no, they do that to everybody. And what I was saying is, if you buy a travel package from me, and it's your vacation, 2 weeks. You've been waiting all your life to come to Costa Rica, and your package is $10,000. I'm only allowed to bill you $2,000. That's my limit. And
Wow.
then for the month they might give me $12,000 for the month. Okay, I have more people, so I have to bill you 5 times to get the 10,000. Then I can't go over my limit. I got to keep. Can you raise my limit, please? Well, that's going to take 2 days. Well, you're gonna, you'd be like, well, I'll find my travel package somewhere else. I'm just saying they make it extremely. And then, because they're trying to trust you, like we want to make sure you're not doing money laundering or something. But man,
I had my bank account in Costa Rica and in Panama blocked in both countries. I have bank accounts in. So my business, I remember one time somebody was paying import taxes on this super expensive truck, $50,000 import tax. Blocked. It was $100,000. Like, it was like the most expensive truck I ever seen.
Yeah, but they make it super difficult, man, and you got to jump through a lot of hoops, and it gets very. Okay, not knowing the language very good either doesn't help. I had a friend helping me, our friend Johnny, by the way, and he was very helpful. But man, it's just hard. And when you start, I don't know, you forget it.
A lot of these initial things for you to move into Costa Rica or move into Panama, in Panama are going to be easier. The biggest example for me is immigration. How long does it take you to do immigration in Costa Rica? A year?
Oh yeah,
a year. In Panama, I've seen people getting immigration in 3 months.
Yeah.
Getting the plastic residency card in 3 months.
I think the requirements are even easier. I'm not really sure. I don't know, but I think the requirements to get
there were options. You have the friendly visa nation, the friendly nation visa. They have an investment visa, which is a higher amount. I believe it's 300,000 instead of Costa Rica is now 150.
Right?
150. So they raised the bar on that. But if you show that, it's faster. So they make it easier on many categories. Immigration is like the most common example. Another one is shipping. Costa Rica customs clearance take me a month. Classify.
Shipping
customs in here in Costa Rica. It's 3 weeks to a month at customs. Slow, classify everything. In Panama, I had shipments in a day in and out of customs.
Wow.
Average is 5 days, but I had some times where it got in, we presented everything. Okay, go. So
what about actually starting a business?
You can do a corporation, and it's not as hard. You can get kind of like what you call here the permit of operation from the municipality. You can get it online. You can do it yourself, print it out, and put it on the on your business. So of course you have to have an accountant. Of course you have to have an attorney for many of these things. But yeah, it's a lot faster. It's a lot faster on that regard, like the bureaucracy, the paperwork, on many things. But Costa Rica's got all the things. You like, nicer and friendly people for the most part. If you don't want to, deal with, because the Panamanian doesn't have the customer service. It's just, if you want to be served, you walk into a restaurant, have people smile at you. Hey, welcome to a restaurant. Come on, and get a little bit of a better service. Costa Rica is better, way better. And not saying that the Panamanians are mad of you. Some people think, like I hear Americans saying, "Oh, I think Panamanians don't like us here."
They look at you kind of with almost looks like contempt. It's like,
but I don't think it's that. I think they just are not good employees. That's what I think.
Well, you live there. I mean,
yeah. I think is after hours, you have a blast meeting with them, joking with them, and connecting with people. And they're very social. Yeah. So it's a matter of maybe they are not really happy with their career choice.
I don't know. I was just in I was in Bocas, and you just got this sense. It's not that they were mean, but they just kind of look at you like, okay, we'll let you walk around here, but no, we'd rather you didn't. If we don't care if you're here or not. It's kind of like that. Not mean, just like we'll put up with you, but okay.
And then sometimes it feels some people in Bocas. I've been in Bocas. It feels like it's a money grab. You want to get an answer for something. Hey, yes. I have a cousin that do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's similar to some places in Mexico. Similar to some places in Costa Rica. Here in Quepos, San Antonio, in Quepos, you park and then you're gonna get all these people charging you 5,000 colones, about $10 to park on the street, right? So with no no right to do that. They just do it.
I think the other big thing we definitely got to compare is prices.
Okay,
We got to talk about prices.
I'll say that has to be a lot with the inflation. Everywhere I think in the world is getting things more expensive nowadays. It's just getting expensive. But this government for Costa Rica, I was looking at the numbers yesterday, by the way. We have negative inflation. We had minus 1 point something percent.
Really?
Yeah. And Panama increases their inflation almost 3%, 2 point something, almost 3%. And Panama has been getting that additional inflation every year over the last, after COVID,
Okay, but let's do reality. So you've rented a place down there. The place you rented, given the kind of a similar situation, what was the cost there, and what would the cost be here? With your apartment that you had, and it was where was it? Panama City,
So,
right?
I live in a nice apartment. I pay $900 for a 3-bedroom that is connected. It's in the city, but it's hard to get a place in the city that you have, like a huge yard. It's
a city. It's a city.
It almost looked like a house, but it was an apartment. And so you have all this green everywhere, nice location.
So
a lot of diplomatics will look for a place in that area. It's called Clayton, very close to the canal. $900. To me, that's expensive for what I have in Panama.
But how much would it be here?
You can get a nicer place in Costa Rica for that type of money, I think, near the Central Valley. I mean, if you're looking at maybe renting an apartment in Miami or California, you can get, in California, renting something decent for $3,000.
It'd be triple that price.
$3,000 to $5,000. In Panama, you can get a penthouse overlooking the ocean with all the bells and whistles and private pool and all kinds of things.
Okay, so you feel like the rental in Panama might be a bit more, but what about just every day? I got to go buy some milk and just bills, like compare electricity and cable and stuff like that if you can.
My summer would be Panama. Used to be a lot less expensive. I would say probably 35% less expensive
than Costa
Rica. But in the last 3 or 4 years, it has just leveled up. Now are almost the same.
Really?
It's almost very, very similar. I would say Panama, in some things, you still save maybe 10%. Or maybe if you're buying electronics or brand clothing that is expensive, very expensive in Costa Rica, then there's the savings. But most people are not buying brand clothing every day. So you eat every day, you pay the light every day, you pay rental every month. On that, maybe 10% difference. So it's a little bit less expensive. So it's not that much of a saving. Food prices. In Costa Rica, you find a lot of these fair markets where things are very, very inexpensive. In Panama, you have a lot less choice of these fair markets. Mm-hmm. Everything gets produced at the north of the country in Chiriquí and has to be moved into Panama City. Still inexpensive, but it's not that cheap than Costa Rica. Costa Rica, we produce almost everywhere. Pineapple over here, watermelon over there, bananas, we have all these things. For the most part, food are a lot less expensive.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel, people always go, Costa Rica's so expensive. Costa Rica's so expensive. Yes, it can be. I don't think it has to be. I live cheaply. I get good food, the market. Now if you're buying Doritos and Jif peanut butter and you want all your stuff, everything you want, yes, the price can be.
Angus imported meat,
but if you just kind of want to change the way you live maybe a little bit and kind of just downsize, eat mostly like, let's say, vegetables and fruits and throw a little chicken in there and eggs, you can.
Well, here's another point of view. Most households in Costa Rica, most families, wife and husband together, they make $1,000 a month. That's the number. That's like there's a research study that we do every, I think it's every 3 years, a census that we do. Most people don't even make
between $600 and $1,200.
Yeah, don't even make $2,000. So if most people is able to make it with that much money, it means that you can live with a lot less. But most expats who want to move to Costa Rica, they want a property overlooking the ocean, and they want to buy in the most expensive supermarket. The same thing goes for Panama. An average family will make $1,000.
Same?
Yeah,
Same.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you wanna live in a budget, you can live in a budget. But both countries have options for you to live in luxurious place and eat and dine out every night if you want. And
So you're saying, because the big rub that I hear between Panama and Costa Rica, they just say it's cheaper generally, and just as nice, which is probably close to being true. And
historically, it used to be way cheaper.
so
Historically.
your point is,
Now it's not.
But now everything's
Now
catching up
it's-
because everything's getting so global. Everything's so. And Panama City is about probably 10 times more the financial business hub than San Jose would ever
100%.
be. Panama City's been the shit
It's an
for a
offshore.
long
It's an
time.
offshore,
Yes.
tax haven.
Yeah,
It's
so-
been like that forever. So I would say, they're very similar on prices nowadays. The economy in Costa Rica has been established. This government, I think, has done it pretty good and is getting better. Now you have options of financing for expats. In Panama, I haven't heard about that yet. Costa Rica is getting more friendly for expats because of these other things.
Well, we were talking about, we don't have to get too deep into this because it's kind of political, but you were talking about the protests happening in Panama, which really affected, it sounds like, your business, your way of life, and you're like, wow, I don't know if I can't, what am I supposed to do with this? So maybe explain a little bit what happened to you.
Okay, kind of like a big difference between Costa Ricans and Panamanians, because this is kind of like our culture, how it is. The Costa Rican, if you realize this, we don't like to say no. We are not a confrontational type of person.
Right.
You're like, yeah, pura vida, pure life, whatever, relax. Panama, and if we don't like something in Costa Rica, usually we just do memes, we send pictures online, we make jokes about the government for the most part. And maybe every other year, we do a little protest. But protest in Costa Rica is like in San Jose, you get the trucking guys or the taxi guys.
Block the highway.
Not even block. It's slow driving.
Yeah, right.
So it's a slow driving protest. So we call it tortuguismo. Turtle, right? Tortuguismo. We do slow driving, kind of like to be respectful.
That is so true.
Yeah, to be respectful.
We're protesting, but we're not going to be super mean about it.
Yeah. So Costa Ricans are nice. Right? We are nice, whatever. Right?
I actually, that's funny.
That's pretty nice because, if you're running a business, if you have to move your cargo for whatever reason, it's going to take you another 3 hours to do the job, but
you'll do it.
You're doing something, right?
Now let's go to Panama.
Panama, you get every road blocked, blocked. Nobody goes in, nobody goes out. And the issue is there is one main entrance into Panama City, and there is one main highway that crosses the entire country. So if they block one of these areas along this highway, they're kind of blocking the entire country. And they do several blocks. So last year, we have since October, they had a big protest, defending their country because the government kind of gives away, this contract for a mine to destroy 150 acres. So the Panamanian go I don't want that. So everybody went into the streets and they just blocked the entire country for almost 3 months. 3 months. I couldn't do business for 3 months.
Yeah, but that's huge. I mean, that's 3 months.
Oh yeah, it's huge for business. It's huge for anybody who owns their own business.
Right.
If you make money with tourism, or if you make money with work in a restaurant, you make tips. No work for you for 3 months. So it's a really bad thing for a lot of people. So it really hurts a lot of the economy. But they were making a point. It was really bad to have half of the country literally just destroyed because they were gonna do a cobalt mine.
Yeah.
So they will stick to the guns when it comes to protesting, and they just gonna block the country completely. Something like in Costa Rica, it doesn't happen. And even if they block one road, there is all other little roads to go around.
As long as you know where the protest is, you can go around it here.
Kind of like that.
So let me put you on the spot, Pablo. So you got to pick one now. Pick a country. You got one choice. You can't live both places. You still got to maintain your business and conduct business. Starting now, where are you at? And why?
Wow, it's hard because I like Panama.
I didn't tell him I was doing this.
That's a tough one because I really like Panama. I really like my life there. You know, the way of life in Panama City. Costa Rica doesn't really have a city.
See, I see you, knowing how I know you as an entrepreneur, and you are a mover and a shaker, really. So I actually do see you in Panama City.
Yeah,
more than here. But I think the takeaway from this whole video might be that both countries have a lot to offer, and depending on what you're looking for, you want to live by yourself over here and, you know, by the volcano, you know, you can probably make a good life. If you want to, you know, if you're thinking about business, maybe Panama City is the place you want to be. If you're looking to do quick residency or streamline something, maybe Panama. If you don't really care, you know, it's all kinds of, I think both countries have some things to offer.
Honestly, it's really hard for me to answer that question.
Really
hard.
Panama City, dude.
I mean, it's really, really hard. I have family here. I have kids.
Just so we're clear, he is Tico.
I'm a Costa Rican.
Yeah, he's Costa Rican.
But I'm always meeting new people. I'm always in networking events. I'm always giving talks on, you know, different business, you know, chambers and things like that. And Panama has a lot of that. So it's just kind of like my personal lifestyle, you know, really matches Panama City lifestyle. But I love Costa Rica. I mean, it's my country. I get to take my kids to the school. I'm only 3 minutes away from the school. I spend a lot of time with them. So both countries have a lot to offer as far as the geographical part. Both countries are very well connected to the United States. There is a lot of flights into Costa Rica, a lot of flights into Panama. Distances are similar. Language, you know, both countries speak Spanish. One good point about Panama, they do use the US dollar as their currency.
Yes, they do.
And that's a big thing. A lot of people will say, and I talk to customers about it, what did you pick Panama? A lot of them would say, oh, because I didn't have to deal with exchange. So that's kind of like
that's
good.
Kind of big, actually.
It's easier. It's easier. But once again, Costa Rica's got a lot of nice things to it. A lot of
culturally, do they have the same attributes as like? They, you know, family's huge. They love their older people and they're revered. Is it both same?
It's very similar.
Costa Rica is very family oriented and and their grandmother is the grand matriarch, and she is treated
Latin American general from Mexico to Argentina, right? Yeah. From Italians, a little bit in that. It goes in that line. Italians, Latin America,
big family.
People from Spain as well.
So Panama's the same.
It's very similar. Now, Panamanians, they have this additional, you know, touch of Caribbean. So they party a lot. You have, I think it's one of the countries that's got more holidays than any other country in Latin America.
Really?
So you have 1 week for carnivals. So the country stops. Nobody works. You are going to carnival and people will, you know, they get kind of like a little additional salary. What is at the end of the year, you get this additional bonus.
Right, yeah.
But they divide it into 4. So right before that, before the carnival, you get this additional income.
So you can go spend it on carnival.
And people will just go because I'm going to the carnival. I'm going to buy clothes. I'm going to buy my hat. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. The party, and yeah,
Are they proud people? Like Costa Ricans love their country and
very proud. I think more than Costa Ricans.
Really?
Yeah, they're very.
That'd be hard to beat. I mean, because it's more of a fight in them, maybe a little bit.
I mean, the Panamanians love their country, and one thing I have to say also, you see Panamanians that go and study abroad, they usually return back to Panama.
Back. Yeah.
You see Costa Ricans.
That says a lot.
Yeah, you see Costa Ricans will study abroad, and a lot of them will stay abroad.
Says a lot.
So it's their culture. Panama, it's got a little bit of everything. It's it's got a lot of nice infrastructure to it. It's also a country that doesn't just rely on tourism. They rely on finance, a little bit of tourism, and most of their income is the Panama Canal. So it's for investors and investment, that distribution of, you know, money, how the money is made. It's also stability. So a lot of people will open bank accounts in Panama, keep their money there, keep their money abroad. Yep. So that's
Well, guys, I hope you got informed. I'm just more confused. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to go to Panama, Pablo. I'm just forget Costa Rica.
No.
No, I love both countries.
No,
I've spent a lot of time in Panama as well. I love them both. But hopefully, you guys got a little good base. If you're thinking about Panama, it's all good. We don't care if you come here, really. Pablo, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Guys, I'm Michael Allen, travelcostaricanow.com. If you're thinking about living or traveling anywhere, always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica and now Panama, I'm going to say my videos. And I actually think you do some video stuff too, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to put Pablo's, if you want to import, export, Panama or Costa Rica, or you just want to talk to Pablo, we're going to put his all his information also in the description of this video. All right, man. Ciao.